Hey, this is Austin.
Hey, this is Allie, and we are two losers that live in our mom's basement, and we're going to talk about some stuff. Um, yeah.
Yeah. Shit, we're gonna have to do a lot of
I don't,
cutting.
yeah, I'm like, well, no, like, this is all unedited, so I feel like that's going to be the beauty of this thing.
Yeah.
It's going to be just what we are, and
Mhm.
you got to take it or leave it here, kids. Okay. But yeah, okay, so if you want to, you can go ahead and take off with some recent news. Like what's going on in the world? Tell me the things.
So, damn, what exact date was it? I think it was about two weeks ago, maybe about a week ago. Lil Nas X came out with his new music video doing a little strip tease thing for Satan.
Oh my god,
Cuts his head off, etc., etc.
It was wild.
But so basically he came out with these new shoes, and it has, actually, let me pull up my notes. Like I said, I made like a little PowerPoint and all that. But
and we'll also link the like I put a picture up here if you're watching on YouTube, so that you can, if you haven't already seen them, which you probably have, but if you haven't, you can you can take a look so you know what the heck we're talking about.
Yes. So these shoes, there's only 666 pairs, which is a number of Satan.
Right.
The money of it is like how much it is 1,018.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, see, I thought it was like $666. Like
no,
they were going with that theme.
So it's $1,018 dollars, and on the side you see 1018, Luke 1018, which Luke 1018 is basically, I saw Satan falling like lightning from heaven. Right, so it explains like with his video where he's going up to heaven, grabs the pole, etc., etc.
It's just creepy because, like, if you look in the back, like in the base of the shoe, supposedly it has real human blood in there.
Yeah, or like a drop of blood or something.
Yeah, which I'm like, first of all, whose blood is this?
That's what I'm wondering. But so you know me, I'm very religious woke, I guess you could say. Going through a lot of, like different religions, thinking kind of thing. So basically, how you sell your soul to the devil is, you got to go to a crossroads, right? And this all links up together. You got to go to a crossroads, basically say your love for Satan, and he will show up, and you're supposed to sign this contract with your blood. So blood inside the shoe. And the crazy thing with the crossroads is there was a podcast before this whole ordeal came out, and it says, it's the podcast, and it says country at a crossroads. Right. And then, like on that little pentagram,
like one of his things was,
he was in the podcast.
Oh, it was in a podcast. Oh, I see.
And it's called Country at a Crossroads because he was switching from country to pop.
Yeah, well, and he's like, when Old Town Road came out, he was talking about how he was like in the rodeo scene, like at Wranglers, and like that's how he grew up. Like that's how he did the things, which I was like, that's pretty awesome, And
I mean, he pulled a straight up Taylor Swift.
Yeah,
you know how she went. Yeah, see, that's
a whole nother thing.
That's a whole nother podcast.
A whole nother podcast. Put that on the list.
Yeah, celebrities selling their souls.
Oh my gosh, I can't. I mean, that would be.
Yeah, that's gonna be about 4-hour podcast. But on the little thing right there, on the little pentagram, one of them says, "I saw Satan," which is Luke 10:18.
Right.
And then it says MSCHF X Lil Nas X. Right?
What does that mean?
Now, if you look up MSCHF, it will come to a website, and it's called Death of a Influencer kind of thing. And there's clocks, and it's counting down basically a death of an influencer kind of thing, supposedly. I don't know.
That's a little suspicious.
If he didn't sell his soul, he's smart as hell. To put all this stuff in just to create controversy. That's basically everything that I have.
Okay, man, that's.
I mean, and Nike actually has a restraining order against him, because he didn't sign with Nike. He just stole the symbol.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I heard they were suing him, and I was like, if you like are doing a contract with them, like how? Okay, first of all, how did that get approved? So he just stole the symbol?
Basically. So he basically bought, like Air, I don't know what type of shoe it is, but then he put the Nike symbol on there.
Mm-hmm.
And then basically just did what he wanted, kind of thing, with the shoe.
Oh.
And just mass produced 666 of them.
Jeez.
So yeah, no, they're suing him and basically putting a restraining order on him.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm like, that's not really gonna do much, but I mean, it's whatever.
That's a little tidbit for
yeah.
So that's what's going on in the world today. That's not scary at all. Okay, so you guys came here for the Denver airport conspiracy, and I don't know if you guys have. I mean, I'm sure you guys have heard of it. It's like one of the biggest ones. So
there's a lot.
Yeah.
Big rabbit hole.
Man, I can't. Anyway, yeah, it's wild. So I guess we'll just kind of get into it. So I mean, the thing is, whenever they were building this, besides the fact that it was like super expensive, they also had an airport that was actually fully functioning in Denver. It was like right there. And then this one is like 40 minutes outside of the city limits, like out in the middle of nowhere. And they've got like thousands of acres. I believe it was thousands of acres. I mean, there's like a lot of acreage. And I'm like, I mean, I don't know how long a runway has to be, but I wouldn't imagine you would need that much room. No. So that's one thing that I was like,
I mean, basically what they said was the runways, like, everything with them, how long they are, et cetera, is because of, like, doesn't matter, like, what kind of weather there is.
Oh, the wind. Yeah. Well, and the way they were laid, because...
That's what they say.
Right. Well, they said they laid them out that way, which we'll get into it later, but if you look at an aerial view, and we'll post it up here also, it looks like a Nazi symbol, a swastika. Yeah. Yeah. And so they said that, they did that because of, I guess it gets super windy, but it's on a plane, so there's not a whole bunch of...
Well, Denver is a mile up from everybody else, too.
A mile.
So it's a lot windier. Because I've been to Denver, and, like, the altitude sucks,
Yeah, so I mean, I get it. Like, that makes sense. Like, that's the answer that they say, and I'm like, okay, well, that makes sense. Like, sometimes whenever someone's like, oh, here's a conspiracy here, this why does this look like this, and they can't give you a reason, they're like, oh, because I don't know. Like, first of all, you didn't just approve that didn't just get through design, and nobody caught that. You know what I mean? Like, it has to have a reason, and that reason just happens to make sense. And I'm like, hey, okay, that makes sense. I get it. So. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, still though, you don't need that many miles to, like, I don't know why you need that many acres.
I mean, if it's international, I guess.
It's big. I think it's like the second or third biggest airport.
It's the second.
Second in the world, or just in the U.S.?
In, I think, the world? Let me fact check that.
I want to say Saudi Arabia, and I could be wrong on that, is the biggest, but... Either way, still huge.
Well, if Saudi Arabia is, the biggest, then it's probably the world. Then,
okay. I
mean, might as well.
Yeah, I don't know for sure, but either way, it's huge. But yeah, it started being built in 1989, and what I found, it shows about 4 years it took to build, and it was 93 when it opened. He was doing some research, and he saw 95, and then the plaque or the dedication stone or whatever says like 94.
Yeah, something like that. Well, basically, what it was basically saying, what I was reading was, it started when you said. And then it was supposed to open in 93. Well, actually.
Okay. Well, and then that would make sense. So, I don't know. Who knows? But.
Yeah, so it's supposed to open in 93, but it opened in 95. And there was a $2 billion...
Oh, the difference. Yeah. Well, yeah, because it had a certain...
Which, I mean, that's a pretty noticeable chunk of change.
That is. Like, well, until you were saying... Because, I mean, it was the buildings... What were they? Tell them about that.
Yeah, so like the underground buildings.
Yeah.
So basically, a construction worker came out and said, "We don't know if it's real. We don't know if it's fake, or just publicity."
Right.
But so basically, he came out and said, over those 2 years of construction, they made. Let me see here. Yeah. So it was 2 billion over budget,
Right.
and he said that they made 5 multi-story buildings that were underneath and a vast network of tunnels.
Right.
And some tunnels, some people say it's like, oh, they lead to other places, kind of thing. But
yeah,
no
there was
one will really know.
a bunch of tunnels and
Yeah,
different
like
entrances
five different multiple story buildings.
and then instead of like bulldozing them and starting over, or just like okay, this is what we have, let's use it. They were just like, let's bury them, build on top, let's just get rid of them. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, if you absolutely can't use it, like, demolish it or make it work. I don't know. It just it seemed a little weird to me.
I feel like it was buried for a reason.
Right.
But no one really knows.
And I'm wondering if they were like, well, let's just say, hey, these are wrong, and bury them so that way it's not suspicious whenever we go. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know.
Well, and plus, since the pandemic, it's actually been under construction again. Yeah. So it's just like, because nobody can go anywhere.
Right. So, I mean, that makes sense because, like, when you have no people in there, that's the best time to do construction. And it's funny there.
But constructing what? That's the real question.
And it's funny. So their marketing team are geniuses. Oh, yeah. They have these, like, alien... And there's like one with a cat and a tinfoil hat. I love that. It's like, Denver's got secrets. So they're really playing into this. And I think it's fantastic. Like, their marketing team gets like thumbs up because that's great. That makes me want to go there.
The tunnels underneath the airport are a really popular topic among conspiracy theorists. The rumors range from the tunnels leading all the way to Cheyenne Mountain and NORAD to there being bunkers down here to house the Illuminati. There's even rumors that there's an underground runway where aliens take off into space.
But yeah, so I mean, we can get more into that later. But yeah, it said, let me see here. The tunnels. Yeah, they said that they were taking, I don't know why it's doing that.
Oh, I think it's just a power connection because of they're connected to this.
So many. Okay. Sorry, guys. We were getting issues. But anyway, so they said the tunnels and everything, they have this baggage claim system that they invented, and they spent tons of money on it. Yeah. And it didn't work. And instead of fixing it and making it work, they're like, we'll do it the old fashioned way. Let's just forget this piece of hunk of machine down here, you know? And I'm like, what? You guys are really giving up on a lot. You know what I mean? You're not just, but that's besides the point. So they use the tunnels for baggage and stuff. And I've seen videos where they're zooming down, you know, trying to get, because I mean, it is a big airport and it's a lot safer to drive under there in the tunnel where, you know, there's not going to be a bunch of pedestrians, like random kids driving, you know what I mean? So that's safer. That makes sense to me. Yeah. So, but, I mean, that's a lot of tunnels to be running around.
Yeah. Well, some people say that they lead to like other places and all that.
Like other places off of the airport?
Yeah, property? Like one place is like, shit, I don't know, like Bluff Springs or something like that. It's different places that have their own conspiracies.
Right. Well, and that's another thing. Like with the conspiracy, they said it's like an underground bunker for like the world's elite. I wonder if that.
Now I actually have information on that. This is going to get spicy. Ooh, real spicy. So in 2011, do you remember the comet that was possibly going into the Earth's atmosphere, the Alien or Alien?
I feel like I do, but I also feel like I can't. I remember there was like an asteroid or a comet or something.
And they're saying there's this big comet was heading towards Earth, and it was going to penetrate the Earth's atmosphere. Right. Right. Well, Barack Obama in 2011 was the president. Okay. So basically, when this news was released, where was Barack Obama? Denver, Colorado. Oh, no one knew exactly where he was in Denver, Colorado, but he was in Denver, Colorado at that time.
Oh, do you think NASA was like, "Yo, Mr. President, it's happening"?
No, and he's like I honestly think that the bunkers were made for the elites. And so like billionaires, politicians, which that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you know? Yeah. Well, I mean, you remember the movie 2012 where they had
Yeah.
those like Noah's Ark boats. Like that would make sense.
Mhm.
I mean, to me anyway. So
Yeah.
I mean, it would make sense that they would have
Evan
something.
Almighty.
Right.
Yeah.
The boat. But I mean, I was like, that makes sense. And I'm thinking, now that you say there's different entrances, because I didn't know that. And so that would make sense. Like there's different points of access. So that way not everyone's flooding the airport and be like,
Yeah.
and then the civilians like us are like, hey, what's going on here? And so I wonder if that's something.
Mhm.
But the other thing they were saying was, which is another conspiracy, instead of being an underground bunker for the elite, it was, so you know how like in Nazi Germany they had the Auschwitz and the other concentration camps?
I've heard about the concentration camp too.
Yeah, like a FEMA concentration camp,
Mhm.
and they put them under there where they can be held and nobody can see because it's a secure building. They can't just walk in there all willy-nilly with a camera, because everybody's got a camera phone now.
Yeah.
And so like if we had camera phones back in the day, it would have been just as easy as someone to like click, take a picture, and then send it to somebody else and be like, hey, this is this is the shit that's happening here. Yeah. And so that would make sense that they're like, learn from the past. And they went down underground where nobody could be like just snapping regular photos. So they could hold a bunch of people. They could fly them directly in, like take you from Kansas City, like, hey, get on this plane. We'll help you out. We'll
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah. And the coronavirus is like a perfect situation.
Oh,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? I'm honestly so surprised that they didn't go this route. But yeah, like fly you in and then like put you underground, hold you, and then when they're ready to be done with you, they could mass genocide. Either, I don't know if it would be like a gas chamber or if it would be like a shooting range or an incinerate. Like, I don't know what they would do, but I mean, I feel like that would be the perfect setup for it. And no one would be the wiser because like you're 40 miles out of town. No one's going to smell a burning body. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just close down the airport and then nobody's around.
Well, okay, so Nazi Germany,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
Hitler, in some of his speeches, talked about a new world order, right? And the people, what you see New World Order today is as the Illuminati
Okay.
kind of thing, which I'm not, but it's just like, so there's a few things that run into the Nazi Germany connection to New World Order stuff at
Right.
Denver International Airport. So start off the swastika runways,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of goes down with the paintings kind of thing. So it's just like,
weird. Those paintings are wild.
yeah. So like one of the paintings is a NWO Nazi kind of thing, soldier killing a peace dove, and then like a whole bunch of like end of Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not trying to get
end of
religious
times,
with it,
but also there's a lot of
And then it's this like so like I said, the runway is a swastika, and then there's a few things in there which is like in the painting, you've seen the painting, right?
Mm-hmm. Like
so
the mural,
he's stabbing the peace dove kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, if you are listening, I'm sorry, like we'll try to describe it. He's stabbing the dove, and there's like I don't even know how to describe that, but if you are watching on YouTube,
he's like wearing a gas mask and like kind of whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But Denver International Airport really describes in the paintings of like post-apocalyptic,
mm-hmm.
like from how it is now to post-apocalyptic kind of
right
thing. So and the guy's name that actually does all the paintings, damn it, I should have had these all together.
Order. No, you're
So Leo Tanguma, he's been an artist for 50 years, right?
okay.
And he's painted like all of these and all that stuff. And but like with the New World Order thing, it's just like there on the plaque there is like what is it? New World Airport Commission.
Yeah, New World.
And they said it was a quote unquote made up name.
Yeah, nobody can find any information about them. They're not like an official group or anything like that. And so I'm like, that's weird.
And then the concourse train station kind of looks like a post-apocalyptic ruins.
The concourse.
Yeah, here, look it up.
Okay, because I don't know what that is. Okay.
But it looks like apocalyptic ruins and stuff. And another thing, which actually, you know, people say that the Illuminati is do concourse, train station artwork. There it is.
Like this?
No, that far one right there.
Oh, okay, here we go. Oh.
Yeah.
What? That is okay. That does look like that's not what?
Mm-hmm.
It does look. It looks like it was bombed and like just left. Like,
yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. That's weird.
I don't know, but it's just like,
Okay.
you know, a lot of people are saying kind of like the Illuminati, New World Order going into it kind of thing, or that's like one of their main bases or home base kind of thing.
Well, that was the other thing. They another conspiracy kind of runs into this. So like they said Hitler actually got out of Germany, and then like the body they found, which actually has some beans behind it, because the body that they found was later tested and it shows it was a female, and like unless Hitler was doing some cross dressing, I mean that's a hell of a mustache. I mean,
oh yeah,
you know, I mean, I know some women can grow some mustaches, but yeah. Me included, but so I'm like I don't understand, like, unless Hitler was doing some cross dressing there, I personally think he got out and he went to Argentina. I really do, but nonetheless, my opinion doesn't matter. I think there was I'm trying to think what the name of it is, but they were also saying if he got out, he could also be trying to put in like a second Reich or third Reich or whatever it is, and then Third Reich, and then he would, you know, that could be a base for it, another base for it, and that would also make sense with the swastika.
Well, have you seen the minecart?
Oh, the AU.
Yeah, AUAG, right?
And that's like silver and gold, right?
Yeah, so AU is gold, periodic table, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, periodic
table. And then AG is silver, and they're like, oh, Denver is a mining city. Yes, it is.
And that would make sense.
But if you put it in perspective, known Illuminati choice of poison is called Australian antigen. Right?
And
so
that's
like all these people find, you know, like a random dead person kind of thing, or someone that was a high target and just ends up dead. They find that Australian antigen in their body.
That's suspicious.
Which, I mean, we're pretty small. I don't think they would care, but you know.
Right. They're coming for us, guys.
FBI, open up.
Right. Oh, man. Yeah, no. And that makes sense. So, I mean, it's like some of the stuff, like, okay, yeah, Denver is mining, and, like, that would make sense, but why is it here? And along with, the art. Like, I'm all for creepy, weird art, but that is, like, it doesn't belong in the airport. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's just I'm just okay, weird. It's just weird that it's all together. And you're like, we can draw so many conclusions from this. So I'm like... Oh.
Basically, Leo, the artist, basically said his paintings were symbolizes human dignity and human liberation kind of thing. So, like, liberating... You hear the Illuminati?
No, I think I actually hear a train. Sorry.
I was like, oh, we need to go.
They're here.
No, but in human liberation of, like, liberation of war, liberation of hate, etc., but like these paintings clearly show
like death, destruction,
etc., genocide, etc.
Right.
You know,
and then like at the very end, it's showing them bringing them together, which is like great. But I'm thinking one world government, one world where half the population, like don't be doing that Thanos thing, you know, where you cut down the population.
Yeah.
We eat a lot. They're going to get rid of us. I'm sorry. I think I cut you off.
No, you're good.
Okay.
No, it's just basically, I don't know, it's very confusing. I wish we could like go there and actually study these pictures, these paintings. And
maybe we'll take a trip and do like a Denver Airport 2.0.
I love Denver.
That'd be cool. I've never been to Colorado. I think it'd be fantastic.
Anna is free. I mean, it's not free, but you know.
Well, it's legal.
Yeah.
It is legal, right?
And I don't understand those. Yeah, it is in recreational. Anyway, those little.
Oh, the design of the outside of the building. Yeah, they look like. I don't know if they look like teepee. Like, to me, they look like teepees.
Yeah,
but
I feel like there's radars under that bitch.
I don't know, man. There's got to be something. I don't know, but yeah, it's just like, who designed this wacko building? Because
I forgot the architect's name.
I mean, either way, like, it just. I mean, it looks like under here, it looks like it's just lighting and that kind of thing, and it just is design. But and I personally don't think that has anything to do. Like, there's not really conspiracy around those, but I just think it's weird. I'm like, it is a building, and then boom, like teepee spikes, like, or just like these white cones sticking out of the building, and I'm like, what the hell? Who thought that was gonna look good? I'm like, okay.
Oh, a fact that I found today was in 2090, the time capsule will be unsealed.
Is it 90 or 94?
2090, I think.
Well,
actually, I
think it's 94. Okay, so it was done in 94 because with the time capsule, it's like 100 years.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking it was like finished in 94 and maybe it opened in 95. I don't know. Either way, but yeah, the time capsule in 2090 something.
Yeah, 2094 is when I'm pretty sure is when the time capsule will be released. But neither of us are making it that.
No,
I guarantee you that.
Shit, no.
We're gonna have to get Riley and Ben and Liz
with my
investigate.
Right. What's that? What's that Ricky Bobby thing? Was it Ricky Bobby?
What is it?
With my high amount of money, I could live forever or something like, I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
200-300 years. Anyway, we'll be dead by then, so it's not going to matter. But a lot of people also say that they think that's when the end of the world is going to happen. And so, who knows? I feel like that's a whole different. The end of the world is going to be a whole different podcast because that's a lot of material to cover.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me see here. Okay, so yeah, we talked about. Oh, the other thing, the plaque, the Freemasons. And so that was another thing with the New World Order and then the Freemasons. Does that mean those are connected?
Well, so basically, my understanding is the Freemasons are here, and the Illuminati is up here.
Oh, it's like Big Brother.
I mean, of course they're like close, but it's just like the Illuminati is like, it runs what I feel like it runs the government, just like Joe Biden at the moment. Like he's just a puppet.
Oh yeah,
of what they want, you know, or like every president
don't come
is
for
like
me.
is a puppet basically, you know, and it's just like they get their own say and stuff, but it's just like, well, just like another video with Joe Biden, and I'm not trying to get other conspiracies and all that, but it's with the Illuminati, is he turns around and this dude's standing behind him like this, and then he looks back and he's like that, and he does like the triangle kind of thing, and he turns back around and he's like that again, and I was just like, you know,
I don't know. I haven't seen it, but I also don't watch a whole lot of political stuff because it's all garbage, I tell you.
Yeah.
But okay, so I mean, I know we've covered a lot of the conspiracy theories, but like, because
Lucifer,
we forgot about him. What a demonic little horse. It's this giant stallion, like, welcoming you to the airport, which
Mustang, yes.
Or yeah, Mustang.
It's like 39 feet tall or something like that.
Yeah, it's huge. You definitely can't miss it. But I mean, it's like, welcome to the airport. Like, that doesn't scream welcome to me. But...
Well, they say that it's a gateway to American West,
right?
Kind of thing. Which it's a little suspicious.
Yeah, well, and the fact that, I mean, it's just a huge giant horse, and its eyes glow red.
Yeah. The story behind that is basically like the artist's father owned an LED shop or something like that, and it's like kind of like a commemoration or something like that.
Right.
But it's just like when he built it, it was up. A piece fell off and killed him.
Yeah, I think it was his head or
Yeah,
something.
and then his kids finished it.
Oh, is it?
Kind of thing. Yeah, his
Oh, I
kids
didn't know
finished the horse.
Okay.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, because I think it was that part of the head fell off and it landed on him, and
Yeah.
it landed on his leg, so they thought he was like, oh, okay, he's gonna live or whatever, and then but it cut an artery in his
Yeah.
leg and he bled out.
I heard that it's like he fell in like a metal beam or something like that. I don't know.
I just know
It's all word of
the
mouth.
statue killed him.
Yeah. And some people
So.
do say, like, they see this Lucifer as the fourth horseman of the apocalypse.
Yeah.
Which all entails with the artwork, the art, like the little, comm station kind of thing, train station. And it's just like
it all, yeah.
It all connects.
And it's weird. That's why it's weird. Like, yeah, hey, if this is like an art exhibit, like, fantastic. Like, it's thought provoking. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I think it's fantastic. The artwork is really great, but it's just in a weird spot. Like, why here? Why here? I don't know. That part just didn't make sense to me. But the horse is all like super detailed and veiny. Like, you can see his undercarriage,
his juicy,
his business. You can see all the things, and it's like somebody took a picture of his butthole. And I'm like, why did you do that? Why would you put a butthole on a statue? That's the first question I
would
have.
do that. I would take a picture of a horse's. Well,
I would take a picture of it, but like, as the artist,
not
you're
like
thinking,
a real
like,
horse's butthole.
you know what this horse needs?
It needs
slap
a
butthole on it.
He
Like,
just goes up to him.
as we were doing. Oh my god, yeah, it's like
I
it's
wonder
just
how
so weird.
deep the butthole goes.
Oh god, I hope
That's what
it
I'm
doesn't
wondering.
go in, because that's
Hey,
weird.
so when we go to Denver, that's
We're gonna check out
I'm
the
gonna- I'm
butthole,
gonna
guys.
stick
We're
my
gonna
finger in
let
the
you
butthole.
know. Well, I bet that butthole is probably at least 10,
at
15
least.
feet off the ground. Well, he's standing, so I don't need. Okay,
Yeah. Well, next subject.
we're gonna move on. No more buttholes for us. Yeah, so I mean, it's just a lot of conspiracy theories, and it's some of them are kind of crazy, but some of them you're like, that makes sense. It could be. Yeah. The other thing that we didn't cover was there was one that said it was a place for electromagnetic experiments.
I'd never heard of that yet.
I don't really know what that means.
Well,
I mean, electromagnets, they said they were testing a couple times and it broke a couple windshields of people like in the parking lot. But I'm like, how true is that? What happened? Like, was it somebody who just threw a rock? I don't know what happened, but I'm like, that's weird.
Yeah, I've never
That's
heard
weird.
about that yet.
And so, yeah. And so I'm just thinking, like, is this at like, MLK Ultra or MK Ultra? Yeah, MK Ultra. That's MLK. Martin Luther King Ultra. Like, but that's the same. You've seen Stranger Things, right?
Yeah.
It's like the same thing. And actually the MK Ultra was what they based that off of. And I'm like, it could be maybe snatching people from the airport and like doing experiments on them. Who knows? I don't know.
I mean, like with the pyramids in Egypt, like they say they're like beacons or something like that. And they found like tunnels in it, but that's another story, because I can really get into that one.
That's just so wild. And some people say like aliens and stuff. Oh, speaking of aliens, that was another thing. The reptilians, they're hiding aliens and reptilians in there.
Oh yeah.
Like Area 51.20. Like, I'm like, if you're hiding something that top secret, that crazy, like, why are you putting it under the world, like the U.S.'s busiest airport? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. But maybe it's just like one of those hide in plain sight kind of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, the reptilian lizard people, which they claim to be like, what I think that's technically an alien race too, right? They came from outer space and came here or whatever. But they think they're shape-shifting lizard people, which that's I'm gonna have to look more into that, because I'm like, what?
Well, here's the real question for you though.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe in aliens?
Yeah, I think it's insane not to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, no, I don't have proof, but I don't not have proof either. You know what I'm saying?
Well, in Alaska or somewhere around there, It was a snowy place.
Right.
There was these divers and all that, and I'll have to get some more information about it. But it's just like there's these divers, and they dive down into like this frozen over, like lake, and it's never been touched before. So they're going around and they see these floating figures, kind of thing. It's kind of like humanoid, and then I think one of them made it out, or like just barely.
See, water terrifies me. I can't imagine being an open ocean diver and just be like, let's go in. Like, we have, I don't know how much, I mean, there's a good amount of the ocean that we just have never discovered. We haven't searched, we haven't looked at. And I'm like, it's crazy. Like, we don't even know what's on our planet.
We've only discovered 5% of the ocean.
Yeah, some tiny amount. And I'm thinking, like, if we don't even know what's on our planet, like, who's to say we don't know what's on somebody else's planet?
Oh, there has to be something.
Yeah,
because we can't get to the core of the Earth. It's impossible. That's another thing. I mean, this has nothing to do with Denver, but that was another thing. What are we talking about again?
Like, the lost city of Atlantis was actually a port, and they sunk it because people were getting, like, if you can go into Atlantis and then go into the center of the Earth, and there's like a whole colony in the center of the Earth, and I'm like, what? I mean, not that I'm saying it's not real. I don't know. It's hella interesting. It sounds like not Treasure Planet.
National Treasure.
No. The cartoon one where they dig in and they find, I think it is Atlantis.
Yeah.
I think that so basically that whole thing. But yeah, I don't know, I'm like, that would be neat. I mean, I feel like that would be so cool, but it's also so scary because, like, you don't know what you're getting yourself into. You could be opening basically Pandora's box, you know what I'm saying? But I think it's just silly to think that we are the absolute only things in the universe. I just think that
can't be possible.
I think it's silly. Yeah.
Over galaxies, there has to be.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I feel like there's got to be something. And, they're like, well, why haven't aliens tried to contact us? Well, the reptilian people or the shape-shifting aliens, like, that would make sense.
Well,
like,
government already released that aliens are real.
Yeah. Well, right, yeah. With all the wild stuff going on with COVID, they released a lot. Yeah, they released a lot of stuff. And it was just like, here's aliens exist. And nobody cared. Everybody's like, cool, moving on. Let's
I was all about that. Like the aliens and stuff. I'm like, I don't know if this is real or not, but
we need to find out where did they, because they have released files and stuff, but like what's the website? If you guys know, let us know, because we want to, I guess we could probably Google it or something.
Yeah.
We'll find out. But yeah, that's all. Well, and that's all I have about the Denver. It was just like, it's a lot of creepy things in one. So it's just like, what's your favorite conspiracy? Is it something that, do you think it's like the New World Order headquarters? Do you think it's like Nazi Third Reich? I don't know. It's just, do you think there's like some secret top government experiments going on there?
There's so much that is like overwhelming. Kind of thing, and it's just like no one will ever know.
No, yeah, we sure.
I mean, besides high, politicians and billionaires,
the people involved. I don't think anybody else will ever know.
Yeah,
I don't think I want to know. Gosh, sometimes these conspiracy theories get so wild. I'm like, if that was true, like, you can't. Once you know something, you can't unknow it. You know what I mean?
No.
Like, it's.
You'd be a target if you knew.
Yeah. I don't want to know. Heck no. I mean, I do, but I don't. But I do, but I don't. You know what I mean? I don't know. We'll just call it a conspiracy now. Who knows? Maybe it's all fake. But I mean, I just thought that was so great. Because like all these crazy conspiracy theories surrounding it. And then the marketing team has the gonads to just be like, we're hiding it. Like, put that on a t-shirt. I want that. Like, I want that little kitty cat with it's got like a tinfoil hat.
It's so cute.
Stinking cute. I think, I want the kitty cat with a tinfoil hat. I am the kitty cat with a tinfoil hat.
We need to make tinfoil hats.
Oh, yeah. Every time we do a conspiracy theory episode, we'll just put our tinfoil hats on. And
hey, that's canon. That's canon. We have to do that.
We have to. Okay, perfect. We got some big melons, though. We're going to have to run up, get a couple rolls of tinfoil, roll it up. Yeah. That's awesome. Okay. Well, do you have anything else about the...
Basically, I mean, I think that's mainly it.
Okay.
Let me look over my notes again.
Yeah, no, you're fine. I'm just, yeah, it's just weird. I don't know. There's just a lot of things that are weird about it, and maybe there's other people who think like maybe they're just doing this just to fuck with us, just because we're spending
That
so
could be a
much
possibility
time,
as well.
right? Because we're spending so much time and effort on this specific, like these specific conspiracies, and that's taking energy from looking into something else. Like, are they just trying to distract us?
Well,
like,
and that, see, and that's where it falls into like the Lil Nas X thing. Is I'm sure he's just doing it for publicity, because
right.
nothing is more publicity or more. I don't know the word. I failed second grade math, but it's just like.
I don't know the word. I failed math.
No,
What?
but it's just like he is like good example. AC/DC, Kiss, those bands and all that. They come out. They're like, oh, they're Satan worshipers, and they're like, heck yes, we are. It just made this stuff grow, made the band grow. This is like technically his first pop song.
Even bad publicity. Well, I guess I don't know. I didn't really listen to him before, but
Nor did I.
But even bad publicity is still publicity. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
Attention is attention, with no matter which way you get it.
And like what you were saying, it could be them just be like, oh, this is happening, like look out for the aliens kind of thing. And they post on their social media of their workers wearing alien masks and stuff for like Christmas or whatever. Man. It's hilarious.
I think that would be funny.
Yeah, but it's just like, are they really hiding something that they don't want us to know about, or they don't want us to conspiracize about?
Right. Well, that's kind of like us, Yeah. We're talking crazy stuff right now, and people are gonna be like, they're just losers living in their mom's basement. Hell yeah, we are.
Yeah.
So we're going to say it before you can say it.
Joke's on you. You have to pay rent.
Oh my God. Right? I mean, we are adults, so I mean, that makes sense. Like, and I feel like,
23 in a few weeks, so.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, it's like, yeah, we live here, but we pay rent. So it's like, it's basically the same thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're basically on our own. We don't have to ask to go out anymore, right?
No.
But anyway, okay, so I guess that will wrap up this podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in, and if you are interested in anything else, conspiracy, mystery, lore, cryptozoology, what else?
etc. Ghosts, goblins.
Oh yeah, all the fun things.
Lore. Did you ever say lore?
I did say lore. Yeah. Legends and lore. Because I really want to cover the Wendigo, and I feel like that falls in there. I'm like,
the Wendigo scares me.
Oh man, I've got a funny story about that. But I will tell you next time we do a Wendigo podcast. Yeah, so I'm Allie.
I'm Austin.
And thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Bye.